Before you start thinking about trading ideas, you should spend some time to understand which type of strategies suit you. This will save you a lot of time and headache in the future. The three main topics for today are identifying the strategies that suits you, what kind of equity curve and expected results are there, and lastly, our secret ingredient, which is consistency. We have 5 factors that affect what kind of strategy suits you. First would be time commitment, programming skills, trading capital, risk profile, and your goal. The most important factor before you start thinking about trading is time. How much time can you commit to 2 things, which is designing the robot and executing your trading strategy. Designing covers everything from idea generation to coding, from fixing bugs to testing and optimizing. Executing covers everything else. Setting up infrastructure, launching, monitoring your robot, improving it, fixing bugs and making sure that there are no problems with your broker. Well, designing can be done at irregular times. If you have a 9 to 5 job, you can design on weekdays, evenings, or during the weekends. However, designing is a long process. Do not expect to create something incredible over a weekend, although it might be possible. You need to put in the long hours to reap the rewards. On the other hand, executing requires you to be on the ball. You need to be able to react if something happens in the middle of the day. You don't have to be in front of the screen 24/7, but you need to be connected somehow. For those who hold a full-time job, there are 2 ways that could work. First, have someone that you can call anytime you need to act on your behalf. So this guy could have access to the computer and he can shut down a robot for you whenever you need to. Second, have a notebook or tablet, a smartphone with you and use this to remote access into your VPN or your home PC, wherever your robot is set up on. You may not be able to make drastic and technical changes from your office washroom, but at least you can stop the robot and fix the problem later. Programming skills. Keep it simple. Robots should be simple. You have access to tons of resources on the web and you can ask me for help. So programming skills shouldn't be the biggest problem you have. But of course, we understand that programming may be more difficult for some than others. Hence, those who face difficulty could outsource the coding. A simple trick is to simplify your strategy and get someone on say MQL5.com or any other or elance.com to code for you. The reason why you simplify your coding, your robot, is so that you can protect your intellectual property. Let's say that there's 5 important parts to this robot and you give 4 parts to the person you're outsourcing it to. You keep the last part for yourself and you can add that in later on your own. And another reason why you should simplify your coding before outsourcing is so that you can get a cheaper code. Prices usually start from $50 USD and above. One note about intellectual property. Honestly, most of the freelance programmers out there, they don't really care about the IP of their clients. As in, they're not thinking about stealing your intellectual property. They don't believe that it will work because they have seen hundreds and hundreds of strategies and most don't work. So stealing your strategy is probably one of the last things on their mind. And that is also true to an extent. As we mentioned before, the holy grail is never the trading robot. It is always the trader. The trader is the one that knows how to adapt to the market, to make changes to a robot, to know when to halt it, to know when to fix it, and know when to let it run. Trading capital affects you in 2 ways. First, it limits your investment into infrastructure. If you have low capital, it is unwise to spend a huge portion of it on trading software, to buy data, on analysis tools. It will be better for you to start with free infrastructure, which is open source infrastructure, and then work your way from there. So the good thing about this course is that everything is open source. Another limitation regarding trading capital is on your trading strategy. There are 4 things to think about. The first is your commission costs. Avoid commission costs that are fixed. This means that the commission cost is X dollars no matter how big you're trading. If you are faced with such fixed commission costs, usually you're paying too much commission per trade. Fortunately, most brokers out there uses percentage as commission cost. Next thing it affects is the base trading capital. As a loose rule of thumb, you need to have at least 200 times the stop loss amount to trade. Some brokerage requires minimum order, hence you need to have enough base capital such that you can still adhere to your position sizing rule and not overbet because of the minimum order. This is a very, very important point. Next, I'll talk about drawdowns and margins. This is a slightly more advanced concept. After backtesting, you'll have an idea on your worst case scenario, which is your worst expected drawdown. We will talk more about this in section 12 and again in the Monte Carlo section. Long story short, you need to have enough capital so that you don't get margin caught by a broker and so that you have enough left to trade and still abiding by your sizing rule. Hedge strategies. It will cost more to execute hedge strategies. Hedge strategies refers to trading robots that open 2 positions for a single trade trigger. This means that maybe I'm longing asset A and shorting asset B, and I'm trying to earn some sort of inefficiency between asset A and B. And right now, I open 2 positions for 1 inefficiency, so I need theoretically double the base capital. But this type of trade also has lower drawdowns, so it's an advantage to our third point, drawdowns and margin. Here are some advantages that you have with high capital. For those with low capital, don't be discouraged. None of the disadvantages here to the low capital trader are really that detrimental. Your chance of success may even be higher, considering you tend to be more conscious about money management and position sizing.